In a small town by the sea, there lived a group of friends who were different from everyone else. They were not like the other people in their town. While others followed the rules and did what they were told, these friends liked to think differently and live freely. People in the town called them Mavericks. The leader of this group was a boy named Maximum. Max was 18 years old, and he had always been curious about the world. He loved to ask questions and find new ways of doing things. His best friend was Lily, a girl with bright red hair who loved painting. She could see beauty in the most ordinary things, like a simple tree or a sunset. Then there was Tom, a tall boy who loved science and inventions. He spent hours in his small shed building strange machines from old parts. Finally, there was Sarah, the quietest of them all, who loved to read books and write stories about adventures far away from their small town. One day, the town was buzzing with news. The mayor had announced a big project, a new bridge to connect the town to the other side of the river. The old bridge had been there for many years, and people said it was part of the town's history. The mayor wanted to replace it with a modern, concrete bridge. The people of the town were excited, but the Mavericks were not. Max and his friends loved the old bridge. It was made of wood, with ropes holding it up. It swayed in the wind, and walking across it felt like an adventure. Max often crossed it when he wanted to think or dream about the future. The old bridge meant freedom to them, but the new bridge would be dull and lifeless, like every other modern thing in their town. "We can't let them destroy the old bridge," Max said to his friends one afternoon, as they sat on the beach watching the waves. "But what can we do?" asked Sarah. "We're just kids, and everyone else seems to like the new bridge idea." "We may be kids," Max replied, "but we're Mavericks. We think differently. We see things in a way that others don't. If we don't speak up, no one will." Lily nodded. "We need to show them why the old bridge is important." Tom thought for a moment. "What if we build something that shows everyone how special the old bridge is?" "What do you mean?" asked Max, curious. Tom smiled. "We can build a model of the bridge, but in a way that tells its story. It doesn't have to be just a copy. We can make it show the history, the memories, and the feelings that we all have when we walk across it." "That's a great idea," said Lily, excited. "And I can paint pictures of all the moments we've shared on that bridge, like the time we watched the sunrise together." or the time we saw the dolphins in the river." Sarah, who loved stories, added, "And I can write a story about the bridge, showing how it's more than just wood and rope. It's part of who we are." The friends agreed. They would work together to create something that would make the people of the town see the old bridge through their eyes. For the next few days, the Mavericks were busy. Tom gathered wood and old ropes to build the model. He used all his skills to make it look like the old bridge, but with a touch of magic. The ropes glowed in the dark, and tiny lights hung from the sides, making it look like a bridge in a dream. Lily painted beautiful scenes of the bridge, the sunsets, the laughter of children playing, and the quiet moments when the friends sat together watching the river flow. Her paintings showed the heart of the bridge, not just its shape. Sarah wrote a story about a young boy who crossed the old bridge on a journey to find himself. In her story, the bridge was not just a crossing but a place of learning, friendship, and growth. It was a place where the boy learned to trust himself and his friends. Max, being the leader, went around the town, talking to people. He invited them to see what they had made. "Come and see the story of our old bridge," he told everyone. "It's more than just wood and rope. It's part of us." On the day of the exhibition, people gathered around the Mavericks display. At first, they looked confused. "It's just a model," some said. "What's the big deal?" But then, as they looked closer, something happened. They saw Lily's paintings and remembered their own moments on the bridge. They read Sarah's story and felt the emotions of the young boy. They looked at Tom's glowing model and felt the magic of the old bridge once again. An old man, who had lived in the town all his life, stood in front of the display for a long time. He wiped a tear from his eye. "I remember walking across that bridge when I was a boy," he said. "It wasn't just a way to get across the river. It was where I met my first love, where I laughed with my friends, and where I felt free." More and more people started to talk about their own memories of the bridge. Slowly, they began to see that the old bridge was more than just an old piece of wood. It was part of the town's soul. When the mayor saw the display, he was surprised. He had never thought about the bridge in this way. He called a meeting to talk about the project again. "Maybe we don't need to destroy the old bridge after all," he said. "Maybe we can repair it, make it stronger, and keep it as part of our town." The people agreed, and the Mavericks were overjoyed. They had done what no one thought possible. They had saved the old bridge, not with force, but with creativity, passion, and a deep love for their town. In the end, the town kept the old bridge, fixing it with new ropes and wood. But it still swayed in the wind, and walking across it still felt like an adventure. The Mavericks stood together on the bridge, looking out at the river as the sun set in the sky. "We did it," Max said, smiling at his friends. "We showed them what it means to be Mavericks," Lily added, her eyes shining with pride. Tom nodded. "We didn't just save a bridge. We reminded everyone to think differently, to see the beauty in things that others might forget. And we told a story that won't be forgotten," said Sarah softly, as she looked out at the river, imagining all the new adventures that lay ahead. The Mavericks had shown their town that being different wasn't a bad thing. It was something to be proud of. And from that day on, whenever anyone crossed the old bridge, they would remember the Mavericks, the ones who thought differently, dreamed big, and dared to be themselves.